Ben, you got any small talk?
Well, have you got any small talk? What about you?
We did weather last time.
It's tough because the weather's good.
The weather's still good. The weather's consistent. My small talk is that this jumper wasn't nearly as dry as I thought it was.
Are you wet?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's got an interesting... I can't be talking about knitwear, but go on. It's got an interesting texture.
Well, the dampness.
Like, I don't know if
Kevlar.
maybe it's
not like
damp,
Kevlar.
but
Shoot me, go. Have a go.
it is a bit... Yeah.
It's a little bit-
It's always in the hoodies and the hood.
It's in the hood. Yeah, I hate that. If I'm going out at night, put my head up. Yeah. That man's just walking alone and shrieking. I think it was because I got off the line this morning and it was cold. And sometimes cold and wet
Is it
are
cold?
very
Is it
similar.
wet?
Apparently,
How do we know?
you give it little kisses.
Yeah.
Your lips can figure out the difference between wet and cold better than your hands can, so you give it a little kiss.
And I'm not a parent, but that's what you do at baths, right? You use your elbow. To check how hot the bath
it is, right?
Yeah,
Not,
so-
you kiss the bath.
Yeah. No, but like if you use your hand, you can't tell if it's actually hot
you
or
use the
not.
elbow because it's
For some
sensitive
reason.
or something, yeah.
I think because your hands are supposed to be somewhat resilient to temperature.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But your elbows
you're fucking
are-
taking oven trays out and
Yeah.
stuff, right? So
I often sleep with my arm out the car window,
nice.
so it's sort of immune to temperature.
You sleep
While
with
driving,
your
of
arm
course.
out
yes.
the car window.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars.
Why are you sleeping in the car? Why is that where you're normally sleeping?
Cost of living crisis. Someone died in the coffee shop the other day.
Which coffee shop?
Cost of living crisis. They didn't. It was a bad joke. Which I've made before and will make again.
I will say, my friend actually died the other day from heartburn. I just can't believe Gav is gone.
Because my head was going, Renee?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Renee. My French friend died.
I thought you were just going to say that he'd like set fire to himself. I didn't know where the joke was going. That's why I'm not making a fucking joke. Don't look at me like that.
We've never claimed to be funny.
No, I don't think anyone who claims to be funny is Michael McIntyre.
That's very true. I claim that I try really hard to be funny, but that's a different thing.
I try.
I try so hard, man. I put so much energy in. So many short courses.
I've done all the admin.
Very short. Yeah.
This amount of paperwork, I should be funny.
I thought it was a practical lesson.
I got my large shoes, my clown nose. I'm ready to be funny. Waka waka.
Me and the other 6 guys sleeping in the car.
Elbows out the window.
All.
Anything to earn a buck. Speaking of earning a buck,
Let's earn a buck.
yeah, no more small talk.
Do you know that the dollars are called bucks because the skin of $1 was roughly worth $1?
Is that true?
It isn't now because...
well, no.
But yeah, they would take the skins of bucks and that would be around $1. So
A buck being like a deer.
a deer.
Right, okay.
So like it'd be $10 for
Wow, okay.
for whatever.
That is quite interesting, Ben.
Thank you.
How much would Microsoft points have to be worth for you to start using Bing? And that's from Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
So is Microsoft points like cool points?
Do you earn Microsoft points for using Bing?
I don't really know what Microsoft points. I mean, I can infer from context that they
think I've
have
got-
like a currency of some kind.
Yeah, I think I've seen the symbol and a number next to it, but
Right.
I've never fucking used it.
So I guess maybe you do earn Microsoft points through using, because I don't know why else you would use Bing.
Right.
'Cause
Because they've got to pay you.
They've got yes. There was that eco search engine that planted a tree every time you search
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
which they definitely didn't.
No.
Because how could you? So they must earn you.
I think that
fake currency.
I think I looked at it about 5 years ago, and if I remember, you could spend Microsoft points on entering a giveaway.
Right.
To help get the man out of the apartment.
Yes, that's
Call
right.
back to the last episode.
So you can send him an Xbox, but no TV.
No wires for you. So you would use Bing and you get a Microsoft point, and then you could enter a competition.
Yes, you couldn't get like actual anything. You know, they definitely never did the actual giveaway. It'd be like one giveaway a year. So
Yeah.
you know,
I think it would have to be worth money.
it would actually have to be worth money.
Actual money.
Yeah, get rid of Microsoft points and call them dollaries, and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
$1 a search, yeah, I'd probably do
Yeah,
that.
Dollar a search, I would do.
probably for that. Because then you could just sit there and be like, well, I'm just going to Bing things. You wouldn't have to tell people that you
It
used
just
Bing.
feels wrong, man.
Yeah,
Bing
you
things.
Google it.
Yeah.
First time in pop culture that Google something was used was in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Really?
Oh, really? That
Yeah,
early?
it was first person of, have you Googled her? And then Xander goes, she's 17.
What the fuck are
it's
you
a
talking
search
about?
engine. Oh, this was a funny joke.
I have a middle class equivalent. I remember when Delia something entered into the Oxford English Dictionary. I don't know what that means, but Radio 4 were enamoured with that fact.
Delia it.
Delia something.
Burn food.
To ignore your housely duties to go and support Norwich
I'm
football.
about to say,
team.
is it to upset Norwich football fans?
Something to do with that, yeah. There was a certain way of sautéing an onion. I don't know.
Sure,
It was
yeah.
just a thing that she did. That was a big day in the Taylor household, circa 2002.
My partner worked in Delia's kitchen in the football
really?
stadium for like a week. And then she was like, yeah, I actually served Delia. And then I fucking quit because she just didn't give a shit.
I sort of respect that
Right.
a little bit.
She served the women's football team when they won. She was there for a
Wow.
week and was like, oh shit, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but Delia's here with the football team. I quit.
Yeah, fair enough. That's so funny. What a week.
She got one of the strikers' tickets and took it home, and then we lost it immediately because we don't give a shit about football.
I was going to say, this sounds like you either have to be really into football or just not care.
Yeah, well, that was the
anyway.
thing. She was just like, I don't care about football, but it's a job, right?
Job's job. Yeah,
And then
yeah,
it turns out you have to care about football because what the fuck is the benefit of that job if not
To be near the football,
I can't imagine they pay particularly well.
Nah, it's minimum wage.
So you got to really enjoy it.
And you've got to like be fucking, dressed up all smart. It's the special booth where they've only got the rich people,
Oh,
and
fuck the
I could
booth.
never do that. Serving rich people is like the worst job ever.
Yeah.
I want to be the rich people, right?
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, I want people to serve me.
Yeah, and I won't speak to them, and I'll be horrible to them because I've been had people be horrible to me. That's how it works.
That's all I know now.
I've suffered, therefore others should.
But yes, never using Bing. Fuck Bing.
Yeah, you'd have to. I would need. It would have to be more than the minimum wage.
Yeah.
So if I were to Google, see, I would have to Bing things for if I binged one thing an hour.
I think it's
then
bomb if it's past tense.
Okay, if I bong things, I would want at least £12 if I'm doing one an hour.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, you could do.
Are you going
let's
for a
do
working
one a
wage?
minute, so I would probably want £60 an hour. Yeah, I'd go for a pound.
I'd say that people who call themselves professional prompters for AI, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. What if we went the other direction? If Google keeps adding AI responses, I would be encouraged to. That's less about what Microsoft has to offer and more about the enshittification
But
of Google.
even then, DuckDuckGo, man.
Yeah.
Just in case people don't know what DuckDuckGo is, it's like a search engine, but it doesn't track anything. It's completely like actually a fresh
do they-
search every
okay.
time. There's no cookies or anything, so it
That's
doesn't
cool.
cater towards you or anyway.
I mean, the AI thing on Google it irritates me, but only to the value of me doing that.
Yeah.
Just slightly moving my thumb to get that shit off my screen and get to the top results.
Right. I remember I looked it up the other day, and it was like, how large is a PlayStation 1 memory card?
Right, okay.
And it's like, oh, a PlayStation 1 memory card is 1 megabyte, so there's megabits. Sometimes we're all tempted to don the flag and sail the high seas. I was like, what the fuck is that? Is Google encouraging me to pirate PlayStation games? What the fuck's happening?
That's so weird.
Sail the seven seas on my memory card barge.
Because the thing, I keep forgetting that it's AI-generated responses now. Ooh, my hand's doing this. Oh God. What is Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that was distracting.
That was your jumper. Your damp
yes,
jumper has
right.
given you crisscross patterns on your forearms.
Lovely. What in the hell was I saying? There was a period where it wasn't AI responses at the top, but it was pulled from specific websites, and you could just see, like, according to this website, this is the response. You can go see the article. And this is sort of an evolution of that, which is worse because it's combining sources, not telling you what sources it's combining them.
That's the big point.
And that's the thing. Like, you could take the first half of one sentence, the second half of a second sentence, and come up with a third thing.
Yeah,
It's not.
I mean,
It's not how information works.
And I don't think the users of Reddit realised that that's what their lives would become.
No, apparently.
It's all right on Booking.com.
Is it really?
Because they've got one of those that sort of just goes through all of the reviews,
Right.
and puts a couple of sentences people say this is nice, this is good. People mention that,
That's kind of
and
handy.
that's all right because it saves you scrolling through a lot.
Yeah.
But that should be the most. I think we don't need. Because that's just opinions. That's
Yes.
These opinions have been voiced the most.
We're
These are
concisely
the second most.
summarising it.
These are the third most. There you go.
Yeah.
When it's googling everything,
Yeah, literally fucking anything.
We've got 100,000 million results on this. You can't put all of that in half a paragraph.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
Or you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I've seen Amazon reviews do it as well, and again, it just like takes information that is completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they say the quality is really good and it came in great condition. When you're buying something new, you
It
fucking
should.
hope so.
I would.
If it
yes.
can turn up in bad condition, then
Right.
something's gone wrong and you send me another one, please.
There was one where it was like a Japanese exclusive video game, and it went, the reviews say the game's really great, plays really fun, but it's only in Japanese, and some people complain about this. And it's like, well, what the fuck did you think? It's a Japanese
If it's
game.
Japanese only.
Right.
I mean, the Attack on Titan games, the texts are in English, but the voice lines are still in
Right.
Japanese,
Yeah, yeah.
which is fine, but the thing that did annoy me about that is that it came out here months, possibly up to a year after
Yeah.
it came out in Japan. The fuck were you doing?
Right, yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
Where's the voices? Now I don't know what they're talking about, but it's probably shit. That's big. Run away.
I hope we don't get attacked on Titan. Not seen it.
I've never seen it too. I'll say I've seen the giant naked man, but you know, that's about it.
Same.
There's lots of them.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a giant naked man.
It's very good. I'm going to go and see the concert
Oh, nice.
in Wembley Arena.
Jeez.
It'll be the only time
That's so big.
first time I've ever been to Wembley.
For an anime concert.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's got a full orchestra and several rock bands.
Lovely.
It's actually pretty sick.
Lovely.
I'm excited. Lots. And I would want £1 per Bing, and there would need to be a lot more AI. I need to scroll past more AI on Google for me to go to something else.
Yeah, if Google would have to get worse.
Yeah.
for me
Or
to change.
And it's going there.
We're getting there any
Yeah.
day now. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say, or it could come out that Google's doing more awful shit that I would
Yeah.
then be like, well, boycotting that as well.
Well, there is.
Because I can't exactly throw things through
But
that
then,
window.
with that point made, are you saying that Microsoft will be a better option out of one evil, massive conglomerate or the other?
Oh no, I'm not saying that I'd go to Bing if Google got
Right.
more evil.
Okay.
I would say that I would go to like DuckDuckGo. I would find a
I
third
see.
party.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd ask Jeeves.
Yeah, it's still around, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I imagine it's an
Oh,
AI bot
They
now.
should
so-
let him. They should let him die.
Yeah.
He's so
fucking
tired.
rest.
Let him sleep, man. Yeah, I know. There is like, thankfully, there's starting to be a bit of pushback against AI in the UK. So hopefully that'll, because people are starting to go like, oh no, my copyright. And all of the ChatGPT people are saying,
losers,
but
right?
we need to infringe copyright in order to make any money.
Did you see Meta coming out recently about all those pirated books? They pirated like some ridiculous amount of books, and they
Right.
went, but we never seeded the downloads. So we didn't distribute them, we just stole them. So it's fine.
I mean, we do need to reform copyright and intellectual property, but
Yeah.
like it shouldn't be for
Yeah,
this.
there's
It should
definitely
be-
problems,
We
but-
haven't dealt with MP3s or the internet
Yeah,
yet,
yeah.
let alone AI.
I
Come
remember
on.
when they changed the law about your iPod. You could actually put music on your iPod legally.
Yes.
Because it was illegal for like 10 years when
Yes.
people were using them.
Yes.
But,
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
would like rip CDs. That was illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was. Yeah, I knew that bit.
Yeah, but then how'd you get music on your iPod?
Yeah.
You pirate it, right?
iPod sounds. Yeah, oh no, I would YouTube to
listen-
MP3
yeah,
converter,
yeah.
thank you very much.
You use that one U2 song forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only music you
That whole
have.
free album, yeah.
I miss the iPod.
Do you?
Yeah,
now,
me too,
Now
man.
you've got to pay monthly to Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
Who, let's be honest, might as well be ripping things
Yeah.
from CDs, given the amount of money that they give to the artist.
Thing number one, as I told you this, Spotify are in-house making music,
Fuck, dude.
uploading it to these really popular playlists, so it gets played alongside Taylor Swift, etc., so that they can say, well, we need to hand out royalties to the people that are actually getting a shitload of plays, so we're not going to pay all these mid-tier bands down to independent bands. We're going to pay Taylor Swift and this band that we made,
Right.
reinvesting that money into Spotify so that Daniel Ek can sell guns.
God.
Space guns.
God.
I think I didn't know the gun bit.
They're all a little bit evil.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to give them the money.
Right.
I want to have my CD collection.
I wanna
put it
keep-
on my computer and put it into the little brick that I had.
Yeah. I want to go back to fucking LimeWire.
yeah, man. LimeWire
I
was...
loved like you could download LimeWire Gold through LimeWire.
Yeah. They just didn't think
It's
about
just
it.
like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
My favourite thing about LimeWire was how awfully mislabeled a lot of stuff
Yeah.
was. I downloaded a Metallica album. Turns out I like Megadeth.
Nice. Yeah. What were the? I think it was Disturbed. We wanted to download a song, and we were like, they did a cover of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." It was just the Britney Spears song slowed down a little bit.
So funny. So funny.
Oh, LimeWire was good. I'm going to. What are you doing this evening? I'm downloading every episode of Doctor Who.
One at a time.
Just. No. This will take me a weekend, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
one folder.
Fuck.
There's. Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
shouldn't pirate stuff. Pay
yeah,
people.
don't pirate stuff.
But I miss my iPod. And I can't even buy one.
We were talking about buttons earlier.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah,
buttons.
yeah.
It had a great
miss
swirly.
You could actually swap
The
tracks.
swirly bit was great.
Yeah. It was actually a really genius interface. I think the iPod is underrated.
That's what they did really well, Apple. Like, I'm not really a fan, but like their UI is like undeniably really great. What does it say, Ben?
What was it like starting Spriters Resource? How did you first gain an audience? I don't know this stuff.
I didn't know you started Spriters
When did you do
Resource,
that?
Ben.
That was from. I can't read Liam's handwriting.
Do you want me to read Liam's handwriting?
Rippy.
Of Rye Pie.
Rye pie.
Rye pie.
I would have said Rippy also.
To be fair, I don't know if I'm right.
But rye pie rhymes more. Rye pie, Rippy. Thank you for your question.
Rippy
I
rye
have
pie.
a feeling that there's one person more qualified to answer it than others.
Well,
Let
was
me
it
tell
again?
you.
So,
What was it like starting Spriters Resource? How did you grow audience?
so man, that's a
Two questions.
How much detail do I go into there?
What does it do?
Let's start
so-
with granular.
That's probably a good idea. The Spriters Resource is a website. On that website, we rip video game sprites. If you don't know what sprites are, they're on old 2D games. They're the kind of
Little
graphics.
character model type things.
So Mario in Super Mario World, he's a little sprite, and all the frames of animation are sprites. So what we did was we go in and take all of the different frames and we put them together so you can look at all of them and then you can edit them and change them and use them in things and So I was talking to you earlier about how what do people use it for? People use it if they're developing a game and they need placeholder assets. They can use those because they know they want to make like a platformer game. These are the frames you need. People use it to do cross stitching and perla beads.
Oh, that's
Because it's, of
fun.
course,
Yeah.
'cause it's pixel based.
And then making animated GIFs and using them as overlays on Twitch and there's tons of stuff that people do with it. When I first did it, I was making comics. And I wanted to make like a Castlevania comic. So I ripped the sprites from a Castlevania game and I put them on there and put little speech bubbles in paint and it was terrible, but that's what we did in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do.
Right.
I have this computer and
We watch Z Thing and make sprite comics. But yeah, when I first started, we were a subdomain on Fireball 20XL, which is a website you should not look into because the guy who ran it is a disgrace. And as soon as I kind of recognized that, I took it off and made it into its own big thing. Just did it. I don't know. I just did it.
Yeah.
I just liked it and kept doing it. And then I was like 13 at the time. It's a long time ago now. And in terms of garnering an audience, I just did. I don't know. We ran it. People used it. People contributed to it.
You made a thing. People found the thing. People used the thing.
Yeah, people sent people to the thing because it was the place to get that specific thing. No one else was really doing it. So
it's so weird when you're younger and you do something that you're passionate about or even mildly interested in, and then it weirdly takes off. You're
Right.
like, this is the thing I wasn't trying to... It's like my one successful YouTube video where Lil Wayne can't play guitar, so I play guitar on top of Lil Wayne.
Nice.
And it's the most popular thing I've ever done.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, this was 2 a.m. and I was drunk.
yeah.
And that has been, I'm going to say 90% of my YouTube income for the last 12 years. It's been this one fucking video, which has more views than the original Lil Wayne video, which is very funny.
That's a good sign, though.
And it also means that Lil Wayne's team do not know how copyright works.
Yeah.
Because they're just, let me have it, I guess. Cheers, Lil Wayne, whoever you are. Yeah, it's always the stuff that you sort of just do because you're interested in it.
Yeah,
That will,
yeah.
like,
And the
take
thing
off
is,
for
it's
no
like
reason.
the whole thing was like, I just like doing it, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep doing it. And then I remember having a conversation with my childhood friends, and they were like, "Oh, what are you going to do when we leave school?" You know, I was like, "I don't know. Well, you going to keep running that website you run, that silly fucking website?" And I was like, maybe." And then it turns out, yes,
Yeah, apparently.
I'm never going to fucking stop. But that led into then making a YouTube channel for Did You Know Gaming,
Yes, of course.
and that's kind of like video game trivia that I picked up a lot of like background information from games because I decompiled them and look in their innards and find
Yeah, you're scrolling through the,
yeah, I'd find like secret unused graphics and things that are in
Lovely.
there that they didn't want you to see, and so then I would tell people about it, and then that became its own thing, entirely separate, not really linked together. So both things are connected to me wanting to make comics.
Cool,
And
it's
now,
fun, cool.
I've never made a fucking comic. But hey,
Still never finished that Castlevania one.
So folks presumably are still making games in a, like if I think of a sort of old feeling game like Graveyard Keeper, is
Yeah.
that presumably using sprite sheets in the same sort of way?
kind of, yeah. So what
Okay.
they would do, yeah, they would they draw it the same way, sort of
Okay.
pixel based by hand. Every single pixel is considered and put and animated that way. A lot of companies will use the Spriters Resource to take assets from a game that's similar, and they'll make the basic foundations, and then they'll get the artist involved to sort of redraw everything.
yeah.
It kind of saves a shitload of time.
Yes.
I remember hearing that, I can't remember the specifics, but like, oh, have you played this game? Did you know that originally you would Link from Legend of Zelda
Right,
running
yeah.
around in like Devil May Cry or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
But they just had it as a placeholder so they could see how things worked. And
Right. And it's it's a good way if you're just a programmer thinking about a concept, you don't know if it's going to fucking be good. So just don't pay someone to draw all of this shit. Normally people use like a circle and you're a moving circle or
Yes.
whatever, but obviously a little bit more representative to make you a person.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good place to start. Obviously, take them out before you fucking sell the thing. It's an important step. The other thing was that some companies use it for their own sprites, which I found very fucking weird.
That's wild.
So when, for example, a good example is Nintendo used the site, but we only found that out because we reverse engineered a newer game, and there's sort of things that weren't in the actual game that we had. So a sprite sheet is like a colored background with all the sprites on it. You're supposed to remove the background.
Yeah.
So they did that, but non-contiguously. So they would get rid of the background, but if there was like a small gap between like an arm like here,
Yeah.
they didn't remove that bit of the background, and it was the same color as a sprite sheet from our website.
Oh, they used the bucket tool on
Yeah,
paint rather than chroma keying.
Yeah, yeah. So as a result, we could see
Jeez.
this like one orange pixel in Mario's mustache, and we were like, I know that orange.
That's my
what
orange
you've done.
pixel.
So yeah, they used the website to make Super Mario Maker.
That's wild.
And Sega use it to like make skins for Minecraft and stuff. And
Is it? I suppose it's easier to Google early Mario sprite sheet,
Right, yeah.
or Bing.
I remember one product development company. I'm not going to name names because they, probably shouldn't say it. But they were sent a bunch of stuff from Namco, and they were like, "Oh yeah, make pixel products out of these images," and they were like super low quality shit images. So they went to the Spriters Resource because it's non-compressed, totally pure quality, and just use that instead.
Yeah, fair.
So companies will have terrible versions of all of this stuff, and people will ignore it and then go to us.
That's cool.
Great.
It's such a fucking niche. Like, I didn't know that this niche was going to continue for 25 years,
But you've filled it.
Yeah. And I'm upgrading the site now because I've not actually sort of done anything with the foundation of it for like 10 years because I've been doing DidYouKnowGaming.
Yeah.
And I sort of realized that, like, no one else runs it. So it's only going to get better if I make it better.
Yes.
So I kind of went, maybe I should do that because it's 2025 and not 2011. So I kind of have an idea of like design now. And, there's things you can do in a web browser that you couldn't do before. So now it's going to run fucking super smooth and all this new tech in there.
Going to put a lot of generative AI into it.
That's right, yes.
Yes.
But we also opened up the models resource so you can get 3D models from games as well and use those.
Cool. Okay,
And, one of the things that I'm adding in, which no one knows about yet, but this will probably go out after I've shown it, but I've put in a 3D model viewer on the site, so in the browser you can look at the 3D model.
Oh, you can sort of spin it around.
Right, because before people had to
Lovely.
download it, putting it into a 3D modeling application, which no one understands, and But I was like, well, cosplayers and stuff, and artists.
Oh my God,
and,
yeah, of course.
There's all of these reasons. You never see the weird angles or like the underside of someone's jacket or whatever, so it means you can actually explore what a character looks like.
Without having to go through all of the extra side quests on a video game to unlock.
Yeah.
Now I can see what Lady Dimitrescu's hat looks like.
Right, exactly, yeah. And that's the thing as well, like ripping sprites back in the day, you would have to play the game, pause it, take the thing, take a screenshot, put it onto Paint.
Oh my God.
Frame advance, next frame, take a screenshot, put it onto Paint. Do that 6,000 times. And, yeah. That was my life for like 20 fucking years. And then we realized, actually, you can just reverse engineer it and take the sprites from the data instead, and it saves a lot of time. So,
presumably with the 3D modeling, there would be a way to then transfer that model data into like 3D printing.
yes, a lot of people do that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's honestly the sort of like the scope of these
The breadth
websites.
of like applications.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And now we're kind of considered to be like a very key part of video game preservation.
Yes, of course.
Which I didn't think about when I was a kid. I was like, love the Game Boy Advance. And then it turns out they didn't save any of their work. So we've now kind of preserved it in a way in which people can actually look at it and use it.
That's really cool.
And again, that wasn't the fucking point. But
Just wanted to make comics, but now...
Can I make a really stupid suggestion for Spriters Resource? Something that I find really interesting about like evolution of pixel art and video game technology is the forgotten aspect is we think of Mario as being this blocky little dude. When you're playing Mario on a CRT television, them edges are smooth.
yeah.
And it looks
Like a cartoon
It looks
in
like a
some ways.
cartoon,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a nice ass cartoon, and it's just because of the application of that particular screen. I just wonder if there's like, can you put a filter over sprites so people can see what it would have looked
Yeah,
like on
I've been
different
trying to
TVs?
do that.
Of course you have.
So one of the new features of the site, at the moment, you can just look at the picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's
what
there's
it
the
looks
sprites.
like, yeah.
I've made it so you can actually zoom in.
Lovely.
Because these
okay.
things are like this fucking big.
Yeah.
But now you can zoom in with integer scaling, which means that it doesn't do like 1.5 times or 2.65 times. It's always an additional 1 times. And with nearest neighbor scaling, so it doesn't fucking blur it to shit. But I've also got like a grid overlay so you can see the individual pixels when you zoom in.
Lovely, okay. Yeah,
But in terms of like filtering it to make it look like a CRT TV, that's fucking hard, man.
yeah.
Because what did that actually kind of look like, right? So I'm kind of doing, I'll blur it and I'll put some weird lines on it,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Just encourage people to poke themselves in the eye and then look at it.
That's
and be
the
like,
solution.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you get.
We'll start selling products, right? And just,
Pokey products.
I did think about making like so this is a bit of a tangent, but like a little sort of acrylic square of some sort where you angle the refraction of light
Yes.
to kind of make it low resolution if you look through this acrylic block.
Yes, I've seen. There's. I think there's a Japanese artist has made something like that, so you can look at a tree and it looks
Right.
like it's a pixelated tree.
Yeah. I've been thinking about trying to like recreate something similar as like a little frame so you can use it for referencing when you're doing pixel art and stuff. Because I think, you can take a picture and like scale it down and up, but it's not quite the same. You want the ability to kind of shift it and see the changes to how it would look. Because if you're animating something, that's very difficult to just make up.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just to have
Yeah.
just from your brain.
Right.
You could sell Spriters Resource branded CRT TVs and HDMI scalers.
Yeah.
New monitor.
I'll just sell a bunch of old shitty CRT screens that I've got.
Yeah. Just slap a little sticker on it. There we go. I'd be into that. I only asked because I fuck around with like old video stuff. And I got into a couple of years ago. I got into circuit bending. Do you know circuit bending?
Yeah.
I've only started 2 fires
Nice.
and haven't.
That's a solid start.
That's a great start. I haven't really hurt myself yet, which is great.
You burn yourself a lot while soldering things.
Where's the burn? I think it may have healed. I think it's just impossible to see with the stupid jumper texture. But yeah, I have hurt myself a little bit. Not in any like lasting ways. But the triumph in January of this year was managing to finally get a signal from my PC onto a VHS tape.
Nice. That's great.
It takes many more cables than you could possibly imagine. Yeah, that took so long. I'd love to do like, because we were talking about like YouTube, like it's just gone a bit weird and it's hard to tell what people even really use YouTube for anymore. Ambient music and like lo-fi tunes and stuff. I really want to do like synthwave music with backgrounds from like say Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 3. Take some still shots of like the Underdark, run it through the VHS tape and do like vaporwavey kind
That's
of
pretty sick, man.
Underdark vibes. Who's got the time?
Yeah, it was actually, there was a YouTube series we were considering doing because we love video game art. That's like a big fucking part of it. And we were thinking of like, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of like soundscapes, right? Like we'll take the 3D model of the area and kind of do cinematic swooping
a
shots and
fly-through.
stuff with like
Yeah.
vibe music and stuff. But apparently that's not easy. So
I mean,
Boundary Break is a YouTube channel where they move the game's camera and have a look around. You can find weird shit that they've put in there, like random sort of like unused 3D models underneath the world and stuff.
Yes.
And we were thinking like, why not do that, but of the actual place that you're meant to be looking at and, trying to make it like vibes.
yeah.
But I don't know if there's a fucking audience for it, you know what I mean?
I think it's the weird long form, I can put this in the background whilst I play D&D.
Yeah.
It's that kind
For
of thing
sure.
that I think would really...
Yeah,
there
like
is an
just
audience for
Skyrim
it.
is obviously kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
Some fantasy setting that you can...
World of Warcraft you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different versions of World of Warcraft you could do.
Right.
Vanilla
Fucking
Warcraft zones or whatever.
Now they've done World of Warcraft Classic and yeah. God, I never got into WoW.
Did you not?
No. I was a Maple Story guy. No one fucking remembers Maple Story.
Oh, you're right. I did not.
It was a South Korean free-to-play MMO 2D platformer game.
Oh.
And it was...
MMO 2D platformer.
Yeah, so it's like an RPG, but 2D, and you like get a sword or you get an axe, and it was cool. Kind of very limited, and obviously they just wanted those microtransactions because it's
of course.
slow as fuck,
Yeah,
unless you pay.
Well, that's cool.
And again, I loved sprites. World of Warcraft was gross 3D models.
Yeah. That was really weird.
That helps Ripi or Rippy.
Thank you for the question.
Or
Ripi.
Rippy.
Right. Oh, thank you.
Do a question.
Thank you so much. Oh, they're so sticky. Ugh.
You shouldn't have cheaped out on the post-it notes.
Were they cheaper?
They were reduced.
Oh, okay.
They were reduced. I feel like £2 for that many Post-it feels about right, though.
Yeah,
doesn't
I'd
it?
say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were reduced to an acceptable price,
Except
but they are so sticky.
you've always got Post-it notes just hanging about, and you've never bought them. You know what I mean?
Oh, we don't anymore. We've used them all. We've been doing the show a long time.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I do get socks and Post-it notes for Christmas.
Right.
And it's like, fuck you, I need both of these things. This is a question from a Sai. Hello, Sai.
Hi, Sai.
And I mean, gosh, how much time do we have? In 5 minutes or less, in your opinion, how fucked are we as a species?
Pretty.
As a species, yeah, we're it's not looking good, is it?
I'm gonna come in with a conversely. I think we are exactly as fucked as we have been for the last 100 years, but we know about it now.
That's actually.
There is the
So
whole
we
thing
might
about
be able to do something about it.
like recycling and stuff should have been. We knew about climate change in the 50s.
Yeah.
I say we. I wasn't alive then. And the people who knew about it in the 50s didn't fucking tell anyone because
Yeah.
they would have had to have stopped making quite so much money. And now, we know about it, but
think
they're still not giving much of a shit.
One of the troubles that we've got is that now we know we're fucked, right? But we're still not doing anything about it. So one of the troubles I have is that, and we're all to blame. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, I'm the best. I also still eat meat.
Yeah.
We know it's fucking us.
Yeah.
We do all sorts of stuff that we know is going to continue to fuck us up, but we're too reliant on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do think, are we? Are we reliant on it, or do we just love comfort?
I think those are all good. Yeah, I think it's good to have a degree of introspection about that sort of thing. But at the same time, I do feel like we could fix very nearly everything by taxing the billionaires.
Yes.
Pumping that directly into renewable energy and education.
Yeah.
And then just wait 50 years and then we might be okay.
You know, I sit here and I'm like, I've not flown for fucking like 6 years, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm aware of the environmental impact of it, but at the same time, Taylor Swift's still going to fucking take a private jet everywhere.
To go up the road.
Right. My choice to not fly is going to do fucking nothing.
Those planes are going to take off whether or not you're on them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
you're
other
not.
people will just take the seat.
Yeah,
They're not going to make more flights and more planes, so they fucking will, because they're going to do that anyway, right? But my seat is not going to make the difference.
Yes, you're not getting on a plane. The plane's still going to go.
Right. But at the same time, that's me going, it's not going to make a difference. But if we all did it...
If everyone did it, then it would. The
Right.
blackout, the economic blackout
Oh, yeah,
thing
the
that
ends-
happened on the
yeah.
28th of February, try not to buy anything. Or
Yeah.
if you do, buy it from local places.
Yeah.
Just me doing that probably didn't do much.
Right. There's
But
maybe
if
like a
everyone
5%
did it-
reduction and then the next day a 10% boost. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
It's-
And also, like, for freelancers like me, February is rough in terms of income. I wasn't buying anything anyway.
Right, yeah.
Like,
I would buy something if I could fucking afford it, right?
Yeah, I
But-
haven't spent money in like 3 months.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw a
Quarter one
a
sucks.
John Stewart thing talking about taxing rich people, and he had an expert on there who was talking about how you should tax people and how much it would cost roughly to get rid of poverty in the US, and all they'd have to do is collect the tax that people owed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even increase the tax
No.
on billionaires, but on the stuff that they should have paid and
Yeah.
haven't paid. That would cover
Poverty.
96% of getting everyone in the US out of poverty.
And then just charge billionaires like 0.5% more.
They would still be billionaires.
Right.
Yeah. There's this guy, I think he's around this neck of the woods, called Dale Vince. And Dale Vince is a millionaire, but he became, I might invite him on the pod, genuinely. He became a millionaire through wind farms.
Right.
And renewable energy, essentially.
Which is the way to do
Which
it.
is, apparently, it's perfectly doable
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make money that way. And he's been campaigning for ages to just tax us more. There's loads of us that wouldn't leave. The ones that stay, you tax us a little bit more and you will solve most of your problems.
Yeah.
And he's written like Guardian articles about it. And he's like,
The thing is,
they want to be taxed.
there are other people who aren't billionaires who kind of argue for their sake, and they're like, well, if we tax them, they just will leave. And it's like, do you think that if you tax Amazon a little bit more, they're just going to give up on the millions they already make?
Yeah, and also Bezos isn't going to be grateful for you saying that.
Right.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a shit about you.
Why are you licking these boots?
That's the thing, is that I think that there's a thing in the States of like people go, well, if we tax billionaires too much, when I become a billionaire...
This is because people...
I'll have to pay some tax.
Right.
Well, if you do become a billionaire, you should pay your fucking tax.
Well, on top of
why
that...
are you so worried about this money that you don't have that you'd never be able to spend?
And right now you can't afford food, so fuck it.
And you would hope to think that that would give you a sense of like camaraderie with people in the same position, right?
Absolutely not.
Maybe
No.
don't let them live as badly as you fucking did. That's the whole thing with like wiping student debt in the US.
Yes.
I found absolutely nuts.
Completely wild.
Well, they shouldn't wipe the student debt because I paid mine off and it took me fucking 40 years.
Yeah, bully
And
for
didn't
you,
it
champ.
suck? And
Wasn't
aren't
it
you
great?
bitter and miserable because of it?
Did it make you a better fucking person?
I think you need to ask the question, okay, thank you for your opinion. Have you ever known joy?
Right.
And if you've never known joy, we're just going to not listen to you because you're impossible.
I honestly, the whole like really fucking rich people piss me off.
Yeah.
And there is no defense for it.
No.
It's just not needed.
No.
Elon Musk could have ended world hunger.
He could have solved most things.
He could still do it, and he said that he would do it if...
Oh, he said a lot of
He's
shit.
like, oh yeah, I'll do this if you figure out how it is, and then some scientists went, we figured out how to do it, and it costs exactly this much.
I'm busy.
Could you reply to our emails, please?
He's not responding to his fucking his ex-partner's pleas for help with their child support.
Well, he's not responding to his children either. Did you see he left his 4-year-old? Just fucking wandered off. You've left... There's a 4-year-old coming out of a plane.
Little baby fucking human shield.
It's a funny name.
Yeah.
He named his child Ward of the States, which I find interesting.
Twat.
What does he mean by that? He means he's going to leave him on stage.
I will say again, though, in terms of like our impact on what we can do, one big thing that I've done is Elon Musk gave a Nazi salute on stage, live, on TV, and everyone saw it and went, I'm going to complain about this on his platform.
Yep.
So what I did is I went, I'm going to stop using Twitter.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I'm going to use Twitter every now and then to post, stop using this Nazi shit, leave it, and you'll feel better for it. And that's the only thing I tweet now.
I've stopped using Twitter. Convo Hat stopped using it a few months back, and it does feel better.
I stopped using Twitter long before the Nazi bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I started on it, it was at the time when it started getting more hateful, and I just went, this is a horrible thing to have on my phone.
It's weird because I started using Blue Sky, which is like the independent attempt at kind of let's make Twitter great again, right? But like actually, and it's great. There's no algorithm. Yeah. You make up the algorithm.
I'm still trying to very much, because of that, work out how Blue Sky works.
Yeah,
I've got a shitload of followers and I don't know what to do with them.
Right. Yeah, it's weird because people can add you to lists.
Yeah,
and then
the lists have been great.
you can follow a list of people who fit into a category. But I've been added into lists of UK friends and comedians.
Close enough.
Ooh.
So people follow me and go, where are the fucking jokes?
Why? Be funny.
Yeah,
Be funny.
it's like,
Peak with the funny list.
sorry, I just want to talk about, sprites. I don't know.
This sprite has a bottom. Bottoms are funny. Ha!
You haven't added it to any lemonade fanatics lists.
Yeah, quite. Yes.
Well,
To be fair, we
that.
did have that back in the day. People
Brilliant.
were like, "What the fuck? There's nothing about fizzy drinks here, man."
Nothing about Sprite at all. That's another short.
There was
video
another one
idea.
that my brother brought this up. It's a great little anecdote where he filed for bankruptcy and had to go to court, and he made video games for a living. So he said that he was a game developer, and the judge basically went, "So you're into farming?
Yes.
You develop game?"
It's a it's a class.
Right.
It's a class issue, really, isn't it?
And I was a little bit like, man, what the fuck?
How do you develop rabbits?
Yeah, it's kind of.
They do it themselves.
You just like
You've got to stop them.
you just dip it into the chemicals and hang them out to dry.
What did he actually think in that moment a game developer meant?
Game developer.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just love shit like that.
I think people are eating the wrong sort of meat. There's
That'll
not
solve
enough flavour
everything.
to it.
This game tastes horrible.
Death Stranding, let's see.
Spooning bits of CD-ROM into my mouth. Blood everywhere.
Ow!
Ow! Ow!
So kind of fucked, but I think we'll probably get better. There might be some wars, but there's some of the worst people are old men, so they should die soon. And let's hope that someone comes along that's less of a cunt.
And then we'll have a go at being evil.
No, I don't want to.
No, I think the world is ready for my particular brand of evil.
Okay.
I will say that it's always important when you have a conversation like this that there are things you can do.
Yes, totally.
And one of those things is look after people who are in your life, because that actually has more of an impact than donating to some charity that's just going to take that money and pay the CEO.
Yeah.
So I think that the world is kind of fucked, but we can make it better by just being good people.
Yeah.
Be nice to yourself, be nice to each other, be nice to strangers. Just be nice. Don't be a dick.
I don't want to undermine. You're absolutely right. Additionally, if we all start slashing the tyres on Tesla cars, they will be more expensive to insure.
But that is being nice.
Because we're slashing the tyres.
Right. And not the people, which is where it's going to go if we don't fucking slash the tyres.
You got two hands, though, innit?
You can do both at the same time?
It's an audio medium, we're fine. Cool. They can't sue me over an image if no one subscribed to our YouTube. Good stuff. I've only got one title written down, so that might be it, unless anyone else has any suggestions. But we'll get to that in a minute. Dazz, where can people find you online? Possibly the website we spoke about.
Yes, it's spriters-resource.com or DidYouKnowGaming. Just Google it, because that's the easiest way.
You'll find it. Ben, samesies.
Instagram, Spike Pearson, Pierson. There's pictures of food that I've made or eaten and places that I've gone to or... Nope. Places I've gone to.
Have you made any more cloud eggs?
I've not made any more cloud eggs, but we were talking about the possibility of a conversation hat cookbook, which will have all of the things that we've discussed. Some of the things we've discussed, like the one I'm not looking forward to making is Trigger Happy's mum's apricot fish. Yeah.
What kind of fish?
Fish.
Okay.
I think that's the least offensive bit.
I think it was just, this is fish and we've got apricots.
Right.
And now we've made apricot fish.
We did once make a savoury fish crumble. Never make it. Don't ever fucking try.
Well, you've mentioned it now, so savoury fish crumble.
So, if I can do that, prawn cocktail and banana crisp sandwich. It's fucking delicious.
I don't believe you.
Is it a prawn cocktail crisp or is it prawn cocktail?
Oh, not an actual prawn cocktail.
And then banana crisps?
No. It's slices of banana, put them on there, prawn cocktail crisps, slam it together.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Delicious.
All right. I'm not a fan of bananas, and I'm weird that that's the only bit that's making me go, oh, I don't know about that.
What are we going to call it? The Cookbook for Sation Hat podcast book.
I mean, Culinariation Hat podcast feels more like a word, but not by much.
Culinary Nation.
Culinary Nation.
Also, That's Dumb t-shirts. Go and buy t-shirts that say That's Dumb.
There's no apostrophe, and that's the point.
It annoys so many people.
That's great.
You got to stop hanging out.
I know too many teachers, and they're like, I'm really angry about that. That just makes me enjoy this t-shirt more.
That's fucking ace.
Sell the t-shirts to your children.
Yeah, Spriters Resource used to have an apostrophe for Spriters' ownership of the resource, but we took an apostrophe out, no one knows. Did it like 20 years ago, and no one mentioned it.
There's some more short form content ideas. Where did the apostrophe go? I am at LT Guitarist on all the places. I make stupid music for the internet. It's mostly for myself. The podcast is at Convo Hat Podcast on most of the places. If you're listening to this and you're like, I wonder what these people look like, use your imagination. It's easy to find.
Or follow us on social medias where there will be videos and stuff.
Ben
Otherwise, what the fuck is the point of all these cameras?
It's mostly about what cameras I already had. I have one title to choose from.
Go on.
It's Vapourwave Underdark.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's quite a good one.
It sounds like a J.K. Rowling first draft of a character name.
He's going to be in the next Hideo Kojima game.
I'm gonna. Any ideas for subtitles? It's okay if we don't have any.
I like Vapourwave Underdark.
Vapourwave Underdark.
Yeah,
that'll
I'll
do.
that.
Dazz, When do you think Ben is least likely to explode?
Um,
I just put in a heavily distorted explosion sound effect. That would do it. Yeah.